Hello, I'm joining you from the Quarter Palace here in Astana again. Just a few moments ago, President Aliyev and President Tokayev concluded their press briefing. That was a press briefing, not a press conference. And of course, a number of important announcements have been made and a number of important documents were exchanged in full view of the press. Indeed, President Tokayev described this trip as of critical importance. He used this particular term with a particular emphasis, describing President Aliyev as a leader, statesman of great significance and historic proportions and caliber. And also, of course, the number of other issues have been deliberated. Connectivity appeared to be the key subject that both leaders have been focusing on throughout this day, and that was the case during this press briefing as well. Well, today, first thing in the morning, of course, there was official welcoming ceremony for President Aliyev's arrival, and then there was one-on-one meeting between the two leaders, and then there was a second Interstate Council meeting, Supreme Interstate Council meeting of Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan. And then press briefing was a reflection of many agreements that have been attained. Of course, a joint declaration on the 20th anniversary of the agreement on strategic partnership and allied relations was adopted and announced. It is very important moment here to note that actually Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan officially self-defined themselves as strategic partners and allies. And also, of course, there was a particular focus on digital connectivity, digital Silkway, connection between Aktau and Sumgait. The agreements attained in the past and the way they will be augmented in the future have been reflected upon with clarity by both leaders. And particularly President Ilham Aliyev and also President Tokayev have reflected very clearly about what was attained on the 8th of August. And it was made very clear that President Aliyev informed President Tokayev about that very important attainment. Interestingly enough, and I think that it was the first time President Aliyev made it public, he said that no longer Azerbaijan after 8th of August, and particularly after latest developments that took place in September, Azerbaijan does no longer block any form of transit going to Armenia, and he specifically mentioned about Kazakh wheat in that particular context, reiterating the point that actually the connectivity agreement attained between Azerbaijan and Armenia have already, this agreement has produced tangible results in relation to that particular moment that I mentioned earlier. And of course, he also added that peace between Azerbaijan and Armenia does already exist, it has already been established. And it looks like that there will be some sort of a trilateral mechanism between Azerbaijan, Armenia and Kazakhstan in the wider scheme of connectivity as well. It was, of course, a very wide-ranging discussion, and both leaders have reflected on the concurrence that exists between the two countries, saying that actually on a number of vital international matters, they are actually of the self-same opinion, which is a very telling moment and probably explains why these two countries view their relations, their bilateral interaction, as the relation between strategic partners and allies. Well, technically speaking, this state visit of President Aliyev is now over after the press briefing, after the exchange of documents. But of course, certain proceedings will take place from now on, but they will not be open to the public. But we'll have an opportunity to reflect on what was attained and to reflect on them with degree of clarity and some degree of retrospective comfort that we will have at a later stage. Well, that's all for now. Orkhan Amashov, A News.